Good morning, students. Students, can you hear me?
Good morning, ma'am.
Yes, students. In last class, we were doing revision, and we started solving the previous year question papers because I have completed the syllabus, so we started doing revision. And one more thing I want to tell students: today afternoon we have lab. No, we have lab today afternoon. So you make a list or you make a note of whatever the doubts you have in Part B program, so that we can discuss in afternoon's lab. If you don't know any procedure, Nayana, are you there? Nayana.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Shall we do it in the afternoon? Afternoon anyway we have lab now.
Ma'am, I got it, ma'am. That problem, I solved it.
Okay, okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, students, if anybody have any doubt in Part B programs, if you are not if you are not able to understand, or you are not able to get the linking from one page to another page, or how to link the combo box with the database, or how to add the grid view, any doubt you have in Part B program, in afternoon lab we'll discuss, students. Yes, students, Part B programs are very important. If you become perfect in that, only then you are able to do any program in, or any project in any project using this Visual Studio. Hey students, in afternoon class we'll discuss. Afternoon lab. You have no lab afternoon we have. Please don't bunk lab, students. This is a time, if you have any doubt, you can clarify, because once the last work will get over, then even I'll be busy with some other work, and even you will be busy with the theory exams. And this time, like last semester, how they promoted to the next semester, this time it is not going to happen like that, students. Definitely you'll be having exams. Please have some seriousness. Whatever the doubts you have, any doubt, any minor doubt, any silly doubt, if you have, you are not able to execute the program, you please ask me. Okay, students. After, yes, Nayana, you got that?
Yes,
Nayana,
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
then you finished the execution of fourth program.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, fine. Yes, students, if anybody have doubt, then we'll discuss. Now we'll solve the question papers. Um, Yes, students, this is a question paper of 2019 June July, and this is uh, this is a CBCS scheme syllabus only. This is a 17 scheme, 16, 17 scheme. In last class, we discussed the first question. Describe the architecture of. We discussed the first question, and now the
Ma'am,
second
your
question
screen
was.
is not visible, ma'am.
Screen is not visible. Okay, student. Okay, sorry, I have not shared. I'll share now. Now, is it visible?
Yes, ma'am.
Can't the idea screen now.
Yes, ma'am.
So, first question in module one, first question we have seen in the last class, that is explain the benefits and architecture of video.NET framework, and what is assembly, describe the information stored in the assembly, manifest by differentiating multiple assemblies. Yes, students, I'll repeat once again. So, the benefits and architecture of .NET framework. So, what are the benefits, students? Anybody? What are the benefits of .NET framework architecture? Nobody? Yaru ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ವಾ answer? The benefits, yes, students, if you know, if you have forgotten the answer, or if you don't know, you please make a note. The first question is explain the benefits and architecture of ADO.NET architecture of .NET framework. So the .NET framework diagram you already know in last revision class also I explained once again the architecture of .NET framework, and the benefits are consistent programming model, cross-platform support, language interoperability, automatic memory management of resources, ease of deployment. These are, it is there in my PPT also. The PPT which I have shared now for your first internals, it is there in my PPT also. The benefits are consistent programming model, cross-platform support, language interoperability, automatic memory management, ease of deployment. Yes, students, do you have any doubt in this? Another doubt, idya? Okay. So the next question is, what is assembly? What is assembly? In last class, I have discussed. Assembly is a collection of metadata. So what is metadata? Now the question is, what is metadata? The metadata is a binary information that describes your program, stored in a CLR portable executable file in the memory. So the metadata is nothing but it is a binary information of our program that is stored in memory, or that is stored in CLR portable executable file. And the different describe the information stored in the assembly manifest by differentiating and multiple assemblies. The multiple assemblies are stored name assembly, private and shared assembly, side by side execution assembly. These are all the global assembly. These are all the different types, different types of assembly. The second question, student, with a neat diagram, explain the workflow of .NET execution engine. Any answer for this question? Any answer? Here, students, we need to explain the CLR diagram. I'll show you the answer. I'll show you the PPT. Yes, students, are you following?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, students, if you want, if you can take down this diagram. So this is the execution in CLR. Execution in CLR. The source code. This is the source code. This is source code, that is VB, C++, C hash, JScript, and so on. Source code and the language specification, and using this. I'm sorry, students, not this, not this. So this, the source code, VB, C hash, C++, and so on, and the compiler for all this programming languages. We have a compiler. So once it compiles, the managed code. See, what is managed code and unmanaged code, students? Lateral entry, Apurva. What is managed code and unmanaged code? ಹೇಳಿ ಬೇಗ. ಗೊತ್ತಾ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ವಾ ಆನ್ಸರ್? ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಹೇಳಿ. I'll go to, I'll ask next to student. Did I explain this or not? Did I explain managed code and unmanaged code or not? At least ಅದಾದ್ರೂ ಹೇಳಿ. ನಾನು ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ಲೇನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀರಾ ಮಾಡಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ. Yes, students. Murugesh. ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ಲೇನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀರಾ ಮಾಡಿಲ್ಲಪ್ಪ? ಅದಾದ್ರೆ ಹೇಳಿ. ಮ್ಯಾನೇಜ್ ಕೋಡು, ಅನ್ಮ್ಯಾನೇಜ್ ಕೋಡು.
ಎಸ್ ಮ್ಯಾಮ್.
ಹೇಳಿ ಇವಾಗ. ನೀನೇನ್ ಕೋಳಿ ಜೊತೆ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಅಟೆಂಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದೀಯಪ್ಪ?
ಮ್ಯಾಮ್
ಏನೋ ಸೌಂಡ್ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದೆ.
ಏನಿಲ್ಲ ಮ್ಯಾಮ್.
ಸೊ ವಾಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಮ್ಯಾನೇಜ್ ಕೋಡ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಅನ್ಮ್ಯಾನೇಜ್ ಕೋಡ್? ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ಲೇನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀನಲ್ವಾ?
ಎಸ್ ಮ್ಯಾಮ್.
ಯಾರು ಏನೋ ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ. Okay, students. The source code may be in terms of VB.NET or C hash or C++. So once we compile, so then it will be converted into assembly interpreter language code. IL stands for interpreter language code. So then it runs through this CLR and the native code, and this is the operating system. This diagram you have to explain, students, for that question. So understood this I already explained. So even after explaining, I am not getting any answers from your end. Okay, next question is bring out the difference between value and reference type, and also write a program for boxing and unboxing. Yes, we know the difference between value type and reference type. Value type means the actual values. Reference type is we refer the address of a variable. So we need to mention, you have to write the difference between value type and reference type, and write the program for boxing and unboxing. You can write your lab program. In the lab we have executed now boxing and unboxing program. And the second module, yes students, are you able to write the answer for first module?
Yes,
Bharatha, ಬರಿಬಹುದಾ ಆನ್ಸರ್? Can
Yes,
you
ma'am.
write the answer for first question? Okay. Next, module 2, discuss the different ways of enforcing encapsulation. Give example for both the methods. In encapsulation, we use accessor and mutators. Correct, no? What is accessor and mutators? Yes, students, what is accessor and mutators? Here you have to write the accessor and mutators. Heli bega. What is accessor and mutators? ಎಲ್ಲದಕ್ಕೂ ನಾನೇ ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಹೆಂಗೆ? Did I explain accessor and mutators?
Yes, ma'am.
Now what is the answer for accessor and mutators? What is accessor and mutators? ಬೇಗ ಹೇಳಿ. Yes, students, what is the answer?
Ma'am, the private data are manipulated using accessors, ma'am. Private data are manipulating using accessors and mutators.
Anybody else? ಏನಂದೆಮ್ಮ ಇನ್ನೊಂದ್ಸತಿ ಹೇಳು. Can you please repeat the answer?
Private data are manipulated using accessor and mutator, ma'am.
Any other answer? So here first you need to explain what is encapsulation, and you have to write the two ways. Those two ways are accessor and mutators. Accessor means it is like a set method where we set the, in properties we have learned, the students, in properties we have learned, in property we have two methods, that is set and get method. Set method is used to assign the value and get method is used to return the value. This get is nothing, mutator is nothing but the get method, accessor is nothing but a set method. These you have to explain. And explain the indexes with suitable example. Indexers. What is indexer? Yes, students, what is indexer? What is indexer? Here Bega. Anybody? Indexers. Anybody hearing this word first time? Yes, students. Anybody hearing this first time? Athara yaradru idira?
No, ma'am.
Mate heli.
Ma'am, it used to provide the index to an object
Index.
and to obtain the value from the object.
Any other answer? Any other answer, students? If you don't open during revision class, if you don't open your mouth also during revision class, then how we will do revision, students? Indexer, ಹೇಳಿ ಬೇಗ. ನೀವು ಹೇಳೋವರೆಗೂ ನಾನು ಮುಂದೆ ಹೋಗಲ್ಲ. Hey students, fast. See students, I think you can see this program, no? Are you able to see the program?
Yes, ma'am.
See, are you able to see the PPT? See here what we are doing, student, here we are accessing the accessibility of accessor, and here next you can see the indexer. The indexer, it allows object to be indexed in such in a array format. The object we can access in a array format. So that is the reason why we use this indexer. See the object we are accessing in the form of a array. See, generally at a time one object we access now. Yes, students, generally how we access the object? A dot B. One second. I'll show the program, students, so that you'll get a clear idea. So meanwhile, I'll explain the next. We'll discuss the next question, and then I'll come back to the indexer. And the fourth question is, how do you prevent inheritance using sealed class? Explain with an example. So here, first you need to explain what is sealed class. First you need to explain what is sealed class. Then you have to write the syntax of sealed class. Then you have to write the syntax of sealed class and one example you have to write, students. So tell me, what is the use of sealed class? Yes, students. What is the use of sealed class? Suppose if you have a class, if you don't want to inherit that class, so in that situation we use this sealed class. In that situation we use a sealed class, and if you don't want to inherit the sealed class, then we declare that class as that class with a sealed keyword. If you declare any class with a sealed keyword, then you cannot inherit. Yes, students, you cannot inherit. So that example and answer you can write. Yes, here indexer program we have, students. Here indexer program. Here you can see here you can see here we are using indexer. Here we are using indexer. This I explained in my regular class also. Here we are using index. The object we are using in the form of a index. The object we are using in the form of a index. So this is indexer. So sealed class, when you declare any class, when you are using any class, if you don't want to inherit that class, then what we do? We declare that class with a sealed keyword. We declare that class with a sealed keyword. So you cannot inherit the sealed class. You cannot inherit the sealed class. Next is demonstrate operator overloading using C# program with the syntax to overload plus and minus operator. Yes, students, you need to explain the operator overloading concept, and you have to write the syntax for operator overloading for plus and minus operator. Plus and minus operator. For plus and minus operator, you have to write the syntax and you need to explain the program. And the next third module is, what are delegates? Explain the concepts of multicast delegates with an example. So what is delegate, students? What is delegate? Anybody? What is delegate? Students, I am only telling the answer. You should tell the answer. You should tell the answer. Nane ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ ಯಾವಾಗಿಂದ answers. Yes, Spurti, what is delegate? Spurti? Spurti, what is delegate? Spurti, can you hear me, Spurti? So delegates holds the reference. Yes, Spurti. Anybody wants to tell anything?
Ma'am, delegate is a reference type variable that holds the references for a method.
Good. Yes, delegates holds the reference of a method, and it is a reference type variable. And here we at a time we can store the address of multiple methods. So that is known as multicast delegate. At a time, the variable can hold the address of multiple method. That concept is known as multicast delegate. So here you have to explain delegate and multicast delegate with an example. Explain how custom exceptions will be created in C hash with suitable example. So exception handling you need to explain here. The exception handling concept, which are the what are the keywords we have in exception handling? What are the keywords we have in exception handling? Try, block, try, catch, throw, finally. So those concepts you have to explain using you have to explain with a suitable example. The suitable example you need to explain. The next question is sixth question. Describe the architecture of ADO.NET with a neat diagram. So ADO.NET architecture you need to explain with a neat diagram. Explain the procedure of getting connected to the database. Yes, students, see here. Explain the procedure of getting connected to the database and running the following queries with a relevant example. Yes, how we get connected with the database? With the connection string, correct? No, we have to create the database. How we create the database steps? I explained, no? So you have to explain the step, and here the most important thing is the connection string. With the connection string only we can get connected with the database, and the connection string you have the syntax you have to explain, and the procedure how we get the connection string that you need to explain. That you need to explain, and the queries which are the, insert query and delete, insert record to a table, delete record from a table. That query you have to write. And the fourth module is illustrate the working of checkbox, radio button, text box, group box control with the Windows Form application example. So with the help of window form application, you have to explain the working, just not a diagram, working. What is the you working means? For what purpose we are using checkbox? For what purpose we are using radio button, text box, group box? For all this, we have to illustrate. You have to illustrate the working with an application. So here, students, you take one form. In that form only, you could draw the icon or draw the symbols for checkbox, radio button, text box, and group box, and you just explain, and in a single program only you can write one line of code for all this. And the next question is write a short notes on MDI, window forms, and event driven GUI. MDI means multiple design interface. So MDI means multiple window. I explained now what is multiple. See, when you design in your Part B program also, there we are creating MDI, multiple forms we are creating. So you need to write the answers on a why we need multiple window, and the event driven GUI. The event means what? Some action should happen. So some action, if I take just 10 text boxes, if I take just 10 text boxes and if I create form, that will just become a form. There I am not doing any event. If I just take one button, if I take a button and I write some query for that button, then there when I click on that button, then some event will occur, that some event will happen. So that will become an event driven GUI. So you have to write a short note on MDI, window, and event driven GUI. And the last question, and sorry, and the fourth question, in the fourth module, then eighth question is what is GUI? What is GUI? So what is graphical user interface? List and explain basic controls of GUI. The basic controls of GUI. Which are the basic controls, students? Anybody? Another healthy answer. Which are the basic controls of GUI? Basic controls. Pooja? Pooja? Which are the basic controls of GUI?
Ma'am, input elements, output elements, selection elements.
Input element, output element. Which are the input elements and which are the output elements?
Input elements are input field slider, output field status bar.
ಇಲ್ಲ ಮಾತ್ರ ಬರಲ್ಲ ಇಲ್ಲಿ. See students, here what is the question is list and explain the basic controls of GUI. Label, text box, radio button, grid view. These are all the basic controls. See, these are all the controls which are available in toolbox now. So always I'll be telling the controls which are available in toolbox are labels, text box, radio button, combo box, drop down list, button, data grid view. So those are all the controls which are available in the toolbox. So using those controls we develop a GUI. So those basic controls you can write here. So discuss new features of window presentation foundation control. New features we can create. The XML concept is new feature to window presentation foundation, so that you can explain. And I explained you how to create, how to add rows and columns, and how to insert a data to those rows and columns, that you can explain here. The last module, the fifth question is the fifth module, the ninth question is discuss in detail multi-tier application architecture of ASP.NET. Yes, students, there are 3 layers: application layer, middle layer, and bottom layer. So those 3 layers you have to explain, and explain some basic session management ASP.NET using session management controls. In ASP.NET we have a session management controls. So that is time, date. So those are all some session management controls. So those controls you have to explain. And the last question is 10th question, explain the controls from Ajax control toolkit. The Ajax control toolkits we have. Yes, students, go to toolbox. When you open a web application, go to toolbox. There you will get a list of controls. So here we have a Ajax extension. So Ajax extension is nothing but Ajax controls. Click on the triangle button. So we have the options: timer, script manager, script manager proxy, update panel, update progress. So these are all the controls are there. So these controls you can explain. And the last question is describe the different validation controls in ASP.NET. Yes, students, what are the validations controls are there in ASP.NET? Anybody? Amit? Saket? These students, the validation controls are regular expression validation, custom validation. In last class we discussed, no? Compare validator, custom validator, range validator, regular expression validator, validation summary, the required field validator. These are all the validations control in ASP.NET. Yes, students, any doubt in this question paper? Are you able to answer all the questions in this question paper? And today you are supposed to submit your assignment, theory assignment. By 4:30, all of you should submit your theory assignment, students. So how many of you submitted? Yes, students, I told no, by 21st, 1 week time I gave. Last 14th, I gave the questions. And today I asked you to submit last 2 days, why I gave 21st is 18th and 19th, you did not have any class. I know how many students have participated in the fest. So I'm not going to give any extension for the submission of these assignments. So today by 4:30, everybody should submit the assignment. And the last date for lab assignment is 28th December. And I told you when you come for your lab exam, so that time you have to execute and show me the lab assignment. Okay, students. Yes, students, again I am repeating, in afternoon lab, you have to show me the record part B program, how many programs you have written. You have to share your screen and you have to show your part B record, and you have to, if you have any doubts in part B program, so we'll discuss part B programs, whatever the doubts. So we'll do revision of part B programs. Is it okay? Is it okay, students?
Ma'am, for record, we have to put a screenshot or what, ma'am?
I told no. If printout is available, then you put you just take printout and paste it. If it is not available, then you just draw. And you have to write the tables also in unruled page. I told already, and again I'm repeating. In unruled sheets, you write you draw the table and output. In ruled sheets, question and the queries. Question and queries you need to write.
Okay, ma'am.
So today you have to show students how many programs you have written. Better because now all shops are open. No, better if you take printout of the output and if you paste, because everything you cannot draw. No, tables you can draw, but the output screen it is difficult to draw. Is it okay, students?
Yes, ma'am.
Another doubt idre ivage heli. If anybody have any problem, difficulty, tell now only. Okay, students, answer your attendance. Answer your attendance. Aditya.
Yes, ma'am.
Aditya, ಏನು ಬಂದಿರ ಬಂದ್ರೆ 4 ದಿನ ಬರಲ್ಲ ನೀನು, ಶಾರ್ಟೇಜ್ ಇದೆ ನೋಡು, you may detain. Ajay, what happened to this boy? Why he is not coming to the classes? Amit?
Yes, ma'am.
Antima? Antima? Apurva?
Present, ma'am.
Ashwini?
Yes, ma'am.
Class absent Ashwini. Bindu?
Yes, ma'am.
Class absent. Divyesh? Gaurish?
Yes, ma'am.
Gautami? Gunashekar?
Present, ma'am.
Harini? Harini? Surya?
Present, ma'am.
Nayana?
Present, ma'am.
Nazma?
Yes, ma'am.
Nidhi?
Present, ma'am.
Pradeep? Pradeep? Preeti?
Present, ma'am.
Rajesh. Rajesh. Sahadev. Sahadev. Saket.
Present, ma'am.
Santosh. Santosh. Saket, when I asked the question that time, why you did not reply? Seema.
Yes, ma'am.
Sinchana.
Present, ma'am.
Spurti.
Present, ma'am.
ಸ್ಫೂರ್ತಿ ಯಾಕಮ್ಮ ಕ್ಲಾಸಿಗೆ ರೆಗ್ಯುಲರ್ ಆಗಿ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ, ತುಂಬಾ ಶಾರ್ಟೇಜ್ ಇದೆ ಅಟೆಂಡೆನ್ಸ್. You have shortage of attendance. One day you are coming and again 2-3 days you are not coming. Shashank.
Present, ma'am.
Varsha. Varsha. Yashashwini.
Present, ma'am.
Amruta.
Present, ma'am.
Anusha. Anusha. Apurva.
Present, ma'am.
Sai Siddharth.
Yes, ma'am.
Chetana. Chetana. Kavya. Kavya. Madhu.
Present, ma'am.
Manish. Manish. Sarfaraz.
Present, ma'am.
Sarfaraz, you executed all the programs. Any doubt you have?
No, ma'am, I have not executed all the
Why you have not executed?
Only two program I have executed, ma'am. I will execute it this week. I will execute, ma'am.
So you don't have any doubt in those two programs?
No, ma'am. On those two program, I don't have any doubt.
Okay, fourth and fifth program also have completed. No, that also you do it. Those two programs are very easy compared to second and third program. You finish off that.
Ma'am, I will do it this week only, ma'am.
Okay. Murgesh.
Present, ma'am.
ಆಯ್ತಾ ಮುರುಗೇಶ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮ್ಸ್?
ಇನ್ನೂ ಎರಡಿದೆ ಮ್ಯಾಮ್.
ಮಣಿ. ಮಣಿ. Paresh.
Present, ma'am.
How many programs have executed, Paresh?
Ma'am, still one more left, ma'am.
Fourth and fifth. So today you have to share your screen and you have to show how many you have executed.
Sure, ma'am.
Pooja.
Present, ma'am.
Prashant.
Yes, ma'am.
Pratibha.
Present, ma'am.
Pratik. Sadhana. Pratik. Sadhana. Shashank.
Present, ma'am.
Shraddha.
Present, ma'am.
Why Shraddha last two continuously you are absent? You have shortage of attendance. Sridhar.
Present, ma'am.
Tanuj.
Present, ma'am.
ತನುಜ್ ಎಷ್ಟು ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮ್ಸ್ ಎಕ್ಸಿಕ್ಯೂಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ಯಾಪ್ಪ? How many executed? Tejaswini?
Three.
Present, ma'am.
Okay, 3 programs you have to show me in today's lab. Ummehani?
Present, ma'am.
ಎಷ್ಟಾಗಿದೆ ಅಮ್ಮ ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮ್ಸ್?
2 programs, ma'am.
What about the remaining programs? When you will execute?
I will do, ma'am.
Ashish?
Present, ma'am.
Vidya?
Present, ma'am.
Vishal?
Present, ma'am.
Ashish, how many programs have executed? Yes, Ashish?
ಮ್ಯಾಮ್ ಹರಿಣಿ ಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟ್ ಮ್ಯಾಮ್.
ಅವಾಗ ಯಾಕೆ ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಮಾಡಿಲ್ಲ ಅಮ್ಮ?
ಮ್ಯಾಮ್ ನೆಟ್ವರ್ಕ್ ಇಶ್ಯೂ ಮ್ಯಾಮ್, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಮ್ಯಾಮ್.
ಓಕೆ ಅಮ್ಮ, ಸರಿ. ಓಕೆ ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ಸ್, ಎನಿ ಡೌಟ್? ಎನಿ ಡೌಟ್?
ಮ್ಯಾಮ್,
ಹೇಳಮ್ಮ.
4th and 5th ಮಾಡ್ಯೂಲ್ ನೋಟ್ಸ್ ಬೇಕಿತ್ತು.
ನೋಟ್ಸಾ? ಸರಿ ಆಯ್ತು.
ಎಸ್ ಮ್ಯಾಮ್.
PPT ಇದೆ ಅಲ್ಲ, PPTನೇ ಅದರಲ್ಲೇ ಎಲ್ಲ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಕವರ್ ಆಗಿದೆ. PPT ಶೇರ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ.